Hey everybody, so it's Marty the JavaScript party and my buddy Rhett back there. And we are having a good time coding today. Just watched that last video, it's 50 something minutes long. Um, yeah, I know. The problem is that I had some pretty miserable times on camera in the last application trying to sort of make the best of a big mess of code. Um, and it was just hard and it was hard because it was extremely abstract, and it was difficult because, um, like, things on the ThreeJS side didn't work as I had assumed they worked, and so then I made some really bad architectural decisions. So now I'm trying to avoid that, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself about that. And I guess it makes sense that I would put a lot of pressure on myself about that. But you know, one thing to keep in mind is that we haven't really figured out how to implement music, and we haven't really figured out how to implement like um, a physics engine and like exports and imports, all kinds of things. So I have plenty of things I can screw up between now and then. So even if I do, like, if the way I had done animation was the only thing that was wrong, I probably would still be working on the other one. So there was a collection of things, and I'm a much better developer, and I definitely understand um, animations. Like, I could just never have even began to come up with the animation ST animations typings. Go to type definition. I don't even know what that's all about. Uh, ST animations. Go to definition. Um, Go to definition. Like having all of these and having this sort of lookup and the custom aliasing and having like a function and values and different types, temporal and stuff like that. Man, I mean, I feel like there's a lot that can be done with this that I just wouldn't have even have been able to even conceive of this time last year. And that's what you really want more than anything, is sort of a you want to you want to learn a bunch of stuff and then be able to do more stuff once you've learned that stuff. So I think that we're on the right path. Now, right now, what we have is a single component that has a bunch of code sort of in here and all that, and that is not what we're going to want. Basically, like, I'm going to want a component that has a renderer and draws things. And in my mind, at this point, when I visualize this thing, like, that's literally all it will have in there. The component will just have a renderer, and that's it. And then all the work that's done to change the animation, all that will happen completely outside of the component. The component won't have a form or anything like that. The form to interact with the scene and will be like totally separate. I mean, the component might have a form for like its size and width, you know, but maybe that doesn't even make sense. But anyways, the point is that we're trying to slowly add things so that we can do so that we can kind of scale this thing out to where we can do a lot more cool stuff. And right now, I think the step we're at is like trying to, I know the step we're at is trying to sort of tame this. This is a mess, and I want to tame it so that I can do a lot more with it than just have this sort of hard coded stuff in here, all that. I want to be able to actually tame this. And the way I think the function that handles this will accept a mesh and will accept an animation. I think. I think that makes sense. I think that if it accepted the animation and a mesh, then it should be able to update that, and then that would happen outside of this function and this um, render will call, without any of this code here. So I guess the next step would be to actually create an ST animation. So basically, I know I want an animation. The ST animation has a. This is going to tell me stuff. So it's missing its alias, right? So the alias is the thing that defines um, what ThreeJS object is being updated, and I can only choose from three. So TypeScript's going to force me to only allow either mesh rotation X, mesh rotation Y, or mesh rotation Z. So whenever I add a new animation in the future, the first step will be to add that to the list of aliases that are legal, and that way I can control that. And manage that whole concept. And that was something that I actually had sort of, I wouldn't say botched, but I wanted to make a dictionary that handled this, and TypeScript just couldn't quite handle it the last time. So what's next? It is missing temporal. And so basically what we have right now is infinite, right? Like it just goes on forever. So I'm just going to stay with that. We'll kind of handle one thing at a time. And then, that's going to be like the coolest thing to have. I mean, I guess it'd be kind of cool to have it in unit tests, but that'll be cool to have all these tests in the end-to-end testing, where it's like, oh, okay, now we're doing an infinite, and now we're doing that, this and a that, but we'll have to have a way to update that. But anyways, so what else do we have? Redraw, which I can't even remember what that is. Redraw. Is that only a couple choices, I hope? Oh, okay, continuous or discrete. See, that makes total sense now. And that is a good feeling, right? Like, there will be a time where I'm like, what the heck is redraw? And when I see that the two choices are like redraw it continuously or discrete, I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. This is going to like either going to pop from one value to another, or every single time it updates, it will do that. So this is continuous. This is what we have right now, right? Every time we come up, we have a continuous redraw. What else? What else do we have? This is exciting. Time. And I think I got a little philosophical last time about what is infinity. So it's infinite, so time is just going to go to zero. Um, yeah, I guess I should avoid the philosophy this time. Time is number. Oh, is that it? Zero. I feel like, okay. It seems like we're missing something. So let's go to the definition. Go to the definition again. Oh, okay, values. Ah, okay, so since all we're doing is adding one value to another, it's just going to be a array with the number that we're going to use. I think that makes sense. Okay, so actually I want to understand why I couldn't quite, what was it about the error that I couldn't make sense? And I think okay, so values. Okay, so property values is missing. And I guess since values is so generic, it just like didn't quite hit. And maybe I think maybe I wasn't even looking at all the different things. So anyways, values, and the value that we're currently using is 0.05. All right. So we have that. I think we should probably do the other ones too. and then we'll look at the time and see if it makes sense to actually continue coding, because I probably don't want to do another 50 something minute one. I have to admit though, like you have to, I guess I was being braver than I felt like I was being. I was a little shook by the whole TikTok thing. And it was just kind of like one of those things that, like, just sort of the way I grew up and all that. It was just one of those things where I was just like, I just did not think that that would be possible. Um, so, um, so I guess I was more upset about that than I was aware. Um, so I'm gonna change this to 1 and change this one to 2. Hit save. And yeah, 10 minutes and 58 seconds. Okay, so let's at least just loop over our animations. So we have our ST. Gosh, I don't know. This feels good. This feels really, really good. Um, dot ST meshes dot. Is it animations? Okay, ST meshes dot. Oh, okay. 0, because we only have one. Dot ST animations, and then basically for each. And basically, for now, for the moment, for each of these, so we're going to get an animation, and it is going to be ST animation, and we're going to arrow function this, and then basically all we're going to do is console.log animation. And this is going to be annoying. This is going to be so annoying because it's just going to happen over and over and over again. But I just want to see, I just want sort of a bit of a sanity check, I guess would be the best way. Like I am not insane. I am not insane. Okay, so, it's weird. Okay, so, oh, okay, so I don't feel like that's what I expect to see. So what am I? I think I'm doing the actual function, which now that makes sense. So I was actually insane. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that looks really good. Okay, so now we have our animation, and we are at 13 minutes. So let me just go over here, and basically, okay. So I think I'm as far as I can go without making. I think where it's productive. I think the next step will be to create a function, a service, and that service for animations, and that service actually it'd be more of a utility service that can take a alias and convert it um, into a path, a full path. And I think, and then basically once I have that path, like, um, that will work. And that is weird. Okay, so what would I expect to get back? Okay, so it really can't. Oh, okay. So I guess what I need to do is get an. Oh, okay. What I need is a function that takes the alias, right? So I know that it's this. And returns a path. Yeah, I'm a little lost and someone's actually knocking at my door, so I probably should go. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.